Glad to have you back again. This is the segment where we talk about the stress, the rules to pronounce English words. Everything comes with a rule, so does pronunciation of English words too. So we're looking at rules to pronounce English words. There is the application of stress rules to multi-syllable words. Remember when we took syllables, we said that multi-syllables have one particular unit stressed and then the others are weak. So these rules to pronounce English words will tell us where to apply the stress in a multi-syllable word. First of all, the first rule here, we say stress is applied to any syllable or sound unit that has any of the 5 long vowel sounds, 8 diphthongs, and 5 triphthongs. I'll take that again so you can digest it properly. Stress is applied to any syllable or sound unit that has any of the 5 long vowels, 8 diphthongs, and 5 triphthongs. For example, a word like people, arrive, powerless, little. So stress is applied to any of those sound units that has the long vowel sound or the diphthongs and triphthongs. And then rule number 2 says stress is applied to any syllable that contains a combination of consonants, what we call consonant clusters. So when you have a combination of consonants together in a particular word, we call them consonant clusters. For instance, in a word like depend now, D-E-P-E-N-D-S. NDS in this case is consonant cluster because it has 3 consonants immediately following each other. So we call them a consonant cluster. So stress is applied to any syllable that contains a combination of consonant clusters. So in the word depends, we're stressing the PENDS aspect of the depends. Understand there has consonant clusters ST, N, and D. So understand. So when you have 2 or more consonant clusters, the one sound unit becomes the stressed one. The one that has the consonant clusters, that unit that has the consonant clusters becomes what you stress. And rule number 3 says stress is applied to words that have a root or origin. Stress is applied to words that have a root or origin. For instance, meaning that some words are a combination of the origin and suffixes or sometimes prefixes. A word like teacher. The root word in teacher is teach. The root word is teach. So the stress will rest on the root word, which is teach, as in teacher. And then the word like doubtful. The root word is doubt, and then FUL is added, doubtful. So the stress is applied to the root word doubt in this case. Rule number 4 says stress is not applied to any syllable that contains the following speech sounds in a multi-syllable word. Stress is not applied to any syllable that contains the following speech sounds in a multi-syllable word. Words example like among, above, about, color. So any word that has the schwa sound, you don't stress it, because remember we said in previous lessons that the schwa sound is the weak sound. The schwa sound is the weak sound. So you do not apply stress to any sound unit that has the schwa sound. Then we look at another rule. Stress is not applied to any monosyllable. Any word that is a monosyllable, you don't need to stress it. A word like see, meet, once it's just one sound unit, it doesn't need to be stressed. And then another rule says penultimate stress is defined as the second syllable from the end of a multi-syllable word. Penultimate stress is defined as the second syllable from the end of a multi-syllable word. So that brings us, we'll take quick examples before we round up this session. So an example is in correction. In a word like correction, the second syllable is stressed. So you have it as correction, correction. Yeah, correction. So that will bring us to the end of the rules to pronouncing English words. And then when we come back, we'll take a few more rules and then go into the features of connected speech. Thank you again for returning here. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscription button. Remember, when you speak right, you become a right speaking person.